Hey Animal Crossers, it's me Tiger, and we're back on Mini Island, my new Animal Crossing island that I created about a month ago. I'm planning on decorating this island to a theme that I have not yet revealed. I will be telling you the theme today though by the end of this video, and I'll need your help voting for a flag design to use for the island too, so try not to miss that part at the end. Before you ask, no, I did not delete Meowopolis, my no cheats cat themed island. She is safe on another Switch. I created Mini Island so that I could use treasure islands and time traveling and decorate in what I would basically call a creative mode style. I build an island based on a theme, save it to a dream address, delete it, and start over with a new island and new theme. I've made tons of islands over the years, and lucky for you, you're catching the start of a new one, so you can say that you've been here from the beginning. Now, we can't exactly start decorating Mini Island today because not much has changed since the last time that you saw this island, which was the first day that I made it. I still need to advance through the game to achieve a 3-star island rating so that I can unlock terraforming, which is why you're here. I've never really shown this process in the past, but a lot of you let me know that you were interested, so today I'm going to share with you the process of how I essentially speedrun my islands to 3 stars by going really fast through the main story just to get to decorating. If you like Animal Crossing videos, you're in luck because I post lots of shorts and long videos like this when I get around to it, so be sure to subscribe and join your fellow Animal Crossers. This is somewhat a guide to get to 3 stars really fast, and it's also the second episode of the Mini Island design series, so be sure to watch the first if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next where we'll actually start decorating the island. The last time you were on Mini Island, my character was very unrecognizable, so off camera I went ahead and visited one treasure island to get some cuter clothes and a mirror so that I could change my appearance to put on my classic pink bob. I also made sure to grab a ladder and a vaulting pole while I was there to make navigating around my island a lot easier throughout this process. Other than that, nothing has changed since the last time that you saw Mini. We still have a long ways to go to reach 3 stars, so let's get into it. I've broken down this process by days, but everyone's island will be different because a lot of events are randomized and because you may just end up doing things naturally in a slightly different order. Using this method though, I was able to unlock 3 stars in about 4 to 5 hours total. This involves a lot of time traveling and speeding through everything. Of course, you don't have to play the game this way, but if you're looking to skip the story and get straight into terraforming and decorating like me, this is exactly how to do it. Be sure to watch the full video before starting this process if you plan on following along, otherwise you might end up skipping steps or getting confused. On day 1, you'll get a loan for 5,000 Nook Miles from Tom Nook. I paid that off quickly by doing Nook Miles challenges that are easy to complete that first day. Examples include going to a treasure island to get all the golden tools and one of each fruit to plant on your island, placing items, planting flowers, making a design code, drawing on the bulletin board, updating passport details, selling weeds, traveling to other islands, and so on. You should be able to get 5,000 Nook Miles pretty fast from doing those things. Once I got that paid, I took out another home loan for 99,000 bells. Then I time traveled to day 2 where I immediately went ahead and paid that loan balance and took out another loan with Tom Nook. I like to grab a ton of bells from a treasure island at this point to put in savings just for paying off home loans. It's important to keep upgrading your house like this pretty much every day as you time travel day by day through this process. Not only does it help you progress through the early story, it also gets you more Nook Miles and storage space. Unless you'd rather your house stays small and cute, maybe don't upgrade it, I don't know. I guess it's not a requirement, but you will have to at least upgrade it past the first loan to go through the storyline. I don't think you will, but you might have to do a few after that actually, but I'm not sure. I always upgrade mine as much as possible because I like to keep a lot of things in storage, especially now that we can store trees and flowers. After you pay that home loan, the Nook's Cranny quest begins with Timmy inside the resident services tent. You can quickly grab the materials you need for this from a treasure island. Pro tip, place the buildings and villager homes on your island's beaches to keep them out of the way for when you start decorating and terraforming. After I got the Nook's Cranny placed, I time traveled to day 3 to speed up the construction process. This also triggers the storyline to continue, with Tom Nook now needing help with getting more residents to the island. I talked to him to initiate the first step, which is building a bridge. I placed my bridge down here leading to the Nook's Cranny since I figured that would be handy. And speaking of the Nook's Cranny, I made sure to go inside to get this Mabel cutscene, that way she will start visiting the island's plaza. You have to see the scene for her to start showing up, otherwise she will never come. Don't make the mistake of never going into Nook's Cranny. I did this before and I was wondering why Mabel wasn't visiting my island for so long. You'll definitely want want Mabel to visit because that's how you unlock the Abel's clothing store, and you'll want to do that as soon as possible for access to custom designs. It also helps your island rating to have more buildings. And I need all the help I can get because I'm not gonna upgrade my museum from a tent. I can't decide if this is permanent or not, so I'm just gonna leave it as a tent until I decide. After building the bridge, talk to Tom again to get the 3 housing kits that you'll now need to furnish in order to keep progressing in the story. These plots are larger than usual, so I wasn't able to place them on the beach. I just placed them very close by and still out of the way. Each of these plots need 3 exterior items and 3 interior items. I took pictures of each plot's required items with my phone, and then I went to the crafting bench and made what I could with the materials I had already grabbed from treasure islands that I had in storage. I did end up having to visit another treasure island to get more materials to finish crafting everything. There are some treasure islands that are themed for resetting or for new players where they just have all this furniture available so you don't have to craft it and you can just grab it, but I found it just as easy to get the materials and craft it all myself pretty quickly. After I submitted everything for the plots, I thought we could go to a treasure island to get any villagers we wanted since the 3 plots were literally open. I tried to go convince Mary to move in, but after she wouldn't ask about it, I did a quick Google search and found out that you cannot do that for these first 3 plots, only the ones after. So we'll have to let these autofill, but I still filled my pockets with furniture from the treasure island since I was already there. We'll need a lot of placed items to get to 3 stars, which I'll get more into later, but yeah, I just placed these in a pile off to the side for now. Then I told Tom Nook that I was finished with the 3 housing plots, which triggered them to then autofill. I ended up getting Aurora the penguin, who is pretty cute, Victoria the horse, who I actually like a lot, just not for this island, and Doc the rabbit. Honestly, not the worst autofill villagers, but I really wish it could have been who I wanted. If you want to keep upgrading your home, be sure to pay your loan and take out another one before the day ends like I did. And after that, I was ready to time travel to day 4. I was so happy because Mabel was already here visiting the island, and of course I immediately went to her and bought a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you have to spend a certain amount of bells, but I just buy 3 to 4 items from her every time she visits just to be safe. She'll have to visit a few more times before she offers to build the clothing store on your island. I also checked off the daily task of paying my current home loan and taking out another. The customization workshop is now available too, which is the next step in the main storyline, so I made sure to complete that before time traveling to day 5. This is where the storyline starts going a little faster, and I just made sure to get 2 main daily chores done while I time traveled. Number 1, I made sure to pay off my home loan and take out another, and number 2, I also tried to do 1 treasure island visit per day where I filled up my inventory with items and then placed them into the pile on my island. I don't exactly plan on what items to get, I just grab stuff that I think matches my theme and that I'll likely want to use later. To get 3 stars, you will need tons of placed items around your island, and I found that this is the best way to accomplish that. Go to treasure islands, get items that you'll actually use later, place them in a big giant pile, and then once we hit 3 stars, I'll just move them all into storage. Luckily on day 6, Tom announced the resident services upgrade, meaning that Mini Island was moving along just as I hoped. I completed the 2 daily tasks of home loans and stocking up on more items, including a storage shed, and then moved on to day 7 where I did the exact same things while waiting for the plaza's construction to complete. Day 8 is where we finally got to really continue completing the main storyline since the resident services building and Isabel were now on the island and lots of new things were available with that. First of all, there are new upgrades to get with Nook Miles from the ABD, including a larger inventory, which I immediately got. Next, you can talk to Tom Nook, and this is when he reveals his plans of getting KK Slider to perform on the island, and the first step is building a campsite. I crafted and placed my campsite at the back of the island, out of the way, paid off another home loan, and took out another as usual, and did 1 more treasure island trip for more items before I time traveled to day 9. The campsite was now built, and I actually didn't have to pay any more home loans because this was my last one. Well, I guess I could pay it off and continue upgrading the storage, but I usually don't need to go that far. I did 2 treasure island trips this day, grabbing another inventory of items to place and an inventory of bells to put into savings, not for a home loan, but for things like moving villager homes or building bridges and inclines that I'll do when decorating the island later. Mabel was also visiting again this day, but she didn't ask to build the shop yet, so I just bought more clothes from her. I time traveled to day 10, where we had our first campsite villager, Rodney, who I had to sadly let join Mini Island since you must let your first campsite visitor move in to continue the storyline. Once you let Tom Nook know that the campsite visitor is interested, he officially starts offering more housing plots for sale. You can buy them for 10,000 bells, and we're going to be able to fill these plots with villagers that we actually want from Treasure Island, so I went ahead and placed the first one, and then went to get Mary from a Treasure Island. Yes, Mary's gonna live on this island. I wish she would move into Meowopolis, but I'll have her on Mini. She's just so cute, and I feel like she's perfect for the theme. After convincing Mary to live on Mini, Mini, I time traveled to day 11, where the main story continues to progress if you go inside Resident Services. Tom Nook starts talking about how we need to make the island look good enough to achieve 3 stars, and Isabel let me know that we currently have a 1-star rating on Mini because there's not enough villagers. So I bought another plot from Tom, placed it down, and went to a treasure island to get Gale. After that, I time traveled to day 12, which was an amazing day because Mabel was here for a 3rd visit, and this time she was ready to build a clothing store on my island. I placed down the Abel's building kit back here, and then I got another house plot from Tom and placed it down too, and this time I convinced Fuchsia to move in. I time traveled to day 13, purchased another plot of land from Tom, which ended up being the last one available, and at this point the treasure islands that I was using closed down for maintenance, so I wasn't able to get a villager for this last plot. The Abel sisters was still under construction too, so I went ahead and time traveled to day 14 to speed up the construction and also autofill the plot. Yeah, it autofilled to Rasher. Literally, no. But now that we had 10 villagers, we were in the final stretch to 3 stars. I had placed so many items on the island from all my treasure island trips, but to boost my rating even more, I bought a bunch of flowers from Nook's Cranny and placed them in a giant field. Usually I get flowers from a treasure island that I actually plan on using on my island, but since those were now closed, I opted for this method to get 3 stars, and I planned on using Rossetti to clean these up later. I also placed down 20 pieces of fencing just to get Nook miles and also I think up the island rating too, and I time traveled to day 15 so that Rasher would be moved in and we would officially have all 10 villagers on the island. This is when I checked the island rating and it's 2 stars still. Isabel said I needed more flowers even after planting that huge field. So I planted so many more flowers again and it actually worked. We reached 3 stars that same day right after that. I felt so happy at this point, but the journey is not over yet. You have to time travel to the next day, so I did, and on this day, day 16, I got to experience the KK Slider concert, which triggers the end credits, signaling the end of the main story. Tom Nook arrives at your door after the concert that morning, where he officially gives you the Island Designer app. This means we can finally unlock terraforming. Luckily, I managed to save over 30,000 Nook miles while going through the process of getting to 3 stars from all the things I did, like planting flowers, placing items, selling weeds, traveling to other islands, and all the daily Nook miles tasks too. So I was able to immediately buy the waterscaping and cliffscaping tools, and don't forget about the custom design path permit, you'll definitely want that too. And this is where you can get any in-game pathways if you plan on using those too. Now we're officially ready to start decorating Mini Island, and I bet you've all been wondering what the island theme will be. In the last episode, I gave you a few hints like the island's name, my passport comment, and I even shared the dedicated Pinterest board that I've made for this island that kind of looks like a mood board where I've been saving design codes that I might use. You also got to see some of the items that I picked out for the island throughout this video, so maybe that's helped too. I was really surprised that a lot of you actually did guess the theme correctly in my last video. Okay, I'll stop stalling and reveal the theme. Drumroll please. It's going to be dollhouse themed. This is the little planning document that I've made for the island where you can see more of the vibe that I'm going for. Of course, we're gonna have this island in the spring during cherry blossom season. I'm super inspired by these like vintage green and pink dollhouses that have lots of lace and florals. They kind of remind me of grandma's, Calico Critters, Studio Ghibli, tea parties, trinkets, and little tiny things. But I'm not gonna go full on vintage grandma mode because I also love like the plastic Barbie dollhouse style too. So I might have to merge those two concepts. And I'm not gonna reveal who all the villagers I want on the island are yet, but you can see that I do want Chelsea. I know this might seem a little similar to my last island where I did a 2010s girlhood theme, but trust me, this one is gonna be a lot different and I'm really excited to start decorating so you can see my full vision. Before we do that though, I need your help on voting for a flag to use for Mini Island. Flag 1 is this very cute and familiar house design based on the default house in New Horizons. Love this one, very simple, very cute. Flag number 2 is this enchanting castle-like design, which is less dollhousey and more princess vibes, but I love it and I feel like it could still work for this island. Flag number 3 is this beautiful pastel design with a pink house that has a little heart and a yellow roof. I love this one. And lastly, flag number 4 is this adorable house design that definitely fits really well as a flag. It's super delicate, very simple, and feels more cottagecore, but I think that it would look lovely on this island. Comment below which one you're voting for. I hope you're as excited for this dollhouse island as I am. I think it's going to be super unique and very fun to put together. I'll be creating a full island design series where we decorate the island from start to finish, just like I did for Lumi and Ladybug. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss the future episodes. In the next episode, we'll start designing and decorating the island's entrance, so you won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to my channel members as well. This is the last day that you will be a member on my channel though, because I'm deleting all of my membership tiers and restarting with a new single membership tier, the gyroid tier. So if you want to stay a member, be sure to become a gyroid. I appreciate the support so much, and I can't wait to start designing this island. Bye!